Hey guys, they are back with one of the most challenging cases of their lives in our movie preview video of The Conjuring Last Rites, directed by Michael Schiff. This supernatural horror film is based on the real life investigations of the Warrens, a sequel to The Conjuring The Devil Made Me Do It. It marks the ninth installment in the Conjuring universe. Fasten your seatbelt, you are about to experience true fear and trauma when the film hits theaters in the United States on September 5th. Brought to you by Warner Bros. Pictures. Let's dive deep into the movie preview video of The Conjuring Last Rites by discussing its positive and negative aspects. Before we delve into the movie preview video, let's take a quick sneak peek at what the movie is all about. Paranormal investigators Ed and Lauren Warren take on one final and very scary case. A family is being haunted by strange and dangerous supernatural forces. The Warrens try to help the family by fighting off a powerful demon. As they investigate, they face mysterious events and dark secrets. It becomes one of their most difficult and dangerous cases ever. Positives of the movie: The Conjuring Last Rites is a powerful and emotional final chapter for Ed and Lauren Warren. After more than 10 years of haunted houses and demons, this film gives them a proper send-off. But it is not just about ghosts, it is about feelings, reflection, and the weight of their journey. This time the story is based on the terrifying Smurl haunting from 1986, one of the darkest and most disturbing cases. What really surprised me was the twist. The demon tormenting the Smurl family is the same one the Warrens faced in their very first case. That connection brings the whole Conjuring story full circle. Unlike the third film that felt more like a true crime drama, Last Rites takes us back to haunted houses, cursed objects, and pure supernatural fear. The classic Conjuring vibe we all love. And yes, Annabelle shows up again along with other familiar relics, tying it all together beautifully. Ed and Lauren are portrayed with a deep sense of emotion and tight strength. You really feel like this is the final battle. Their bond is still the soul of the film, full of faith, love, and fear. Their daughter Judy plays a much bigger role this time too, stepping into her mother's shoes with her own psychic gift, which adds fresh emotional weight. The Smurl family is not just there for scares, they feel real with pain and fear you can relate to. The film also touches on how this haunting got attention in the media and was even called a hoax, which adds realism and makes you think about what is true. Overall, this is the darkest and most intense entry in the Conjuring universe. It is scary, yes, but it is also thoughtful, emotional, and full of callbacks. If you have followed the Warrens' story from the beginning, this movie is a satisfying and respectful goodbye. Negatives of the movie: director Michael Schiff, known for The Devil Made Me Do It and The Nun 2, once again falls short with The Conjuring Last Rites. He simply does not have the sharp style or skill that James Wan brought to the earlier films. This final installment continues the franchise's downward spiral, as many fans have already lost faith in Schiff after his earlier work and was criticized for weak visuals and poor pacing. The story feels messy and overloaded, relying more on callbacks to earlier films, returning objects, and surprise cameos instead of telling a strong, focused story. The big final battle feels more emotional than meaningful, with the movie leaning heavily on scares that do not really lead to anything satisfying. There is no real emotional payoff or proper closure. Fans' expectations were already low, and sadly, this movie proves that right. Conjuring 3 was already seen as a step down, and Last Rites repeats the same mistakes. The real-life warriors whose cases inspired these films are also controversial, and this movie does not do much to avoid glorifying a history some view as dishonest or exploitative. As for the horror, it is full of the same old tricks, creepy mirrors, hauntings while characters sleep, and standard demon possessions. None of it feels fresh. Even the spooky relics and returning demons seem reused just for the sake of it, not because they serve the story. In the end, Last Rites feels more like a recycled collection of familiar scares than a proper send-off to the franchisee. The supernatural horror film has a strong story, but the narration feels a little shaky and the direction is just okay. While the supporting cast does a good job, it's Ed and Lauren Warren who truly steal the show with their excellent performances. The cinematography in The Conjuring Last Rites is absolutely breathtaking, with some truly stunning locations that perfectly set the mood. This movie aims to serve as both the final chapter in the Warren story and an emotional roller coaster drive from the real 1986 Smurl haunted confronting raising Tesla stakes to their daughter Judy and bringing back the terrifying demon from their very first case. It promises to be darker and more introspective than previous sequels. However, I am personally not happy with the director's approach, and it feels like the franchisee is running out of fresh ideas. So while the film looks great and has its emotional moments, it might not hit hard enough to fully satisfy long-time Conjuring fans. The Conjuring Last Rites is totally worth a watch. Catch it in theaters near you starting 5th September. The Conjuring Last Rites tries to take the Warrens a powerful final chapter, mixing spooky horror with touching themes like family, legacy, and lives, and it wants to bring back the creepy mood and deep emotions of the earlier films while wrapping up the whole story. But sadly, the director drops the ball. The scares feel forced, the story gets messy, and too many flashbacks and jump scares take away from what could have been a truly emotional goodbye. The Conjuring Last Rites has left critics divided, earning a fair 3 out of 5 stars from us. That middle of the road score might just cast a shadow over its box office magic. When it holds theaters, expect it to conjure up around 33 million its opening weekend. And that's a wrap for our The Conjuring Last Rites movie preview video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to show some love by hitting that like button, sharing with your friends, dropping a comment, and subscribing to our channel. Please use the thanks option as much as you can to support us. Your support means the world to us. Catch you all in our next video. Until then, take care, stay safe, stay youthful, and keep watching our videos. Thank you.